Hi, folks. I'm Tom Vega here in Weather Center. And of course, we're checking out your weekend forecast and beyond into next week. We got the tower cam view. This is from Centerline Broadcasting on Texas Street in Alexandria. At that site, it is 85 with a dew point of 75. Quite muggy. A little bit of a heat index. We see some breaks in the clouds. So we had locally heavy rain in places overnight and this morning, 1 to 3 inches in some locations, especially to the west and north of Alexandria, Pineville. Otherwise, we are seeing a decent afternoon here. Let's go over toward the east, where we're picking up the Rapides Regional Medical Center tower cam there. Good view of the old Red River. Still some clouds in the sky over in that direction. Now let's check things out going out of town to Natchitoches, where it's 82 degrees. We see a mostly cloudy sky there in and around the Northwestern State University campus. Looking over toward Toledo Bend, Highway 6 bridge, we're seeing a couple of boats there. A little traffic moving back and forth across the bridge. Partly sunny, and it is 85. And Leesville, you're a little bit warmer, 89 degrees, despite the fact that it looks like there's a little bit more cloudiness there. Some of those clouds have a little bit of vertical development, but nothing as far as rainfall there near the campsite. So I do headline this summer wet spell, folks. This is coming up. Just changed the days, Saturday through Friday. So over the next week, additional rainfall. And this doesn't include 3 to 5 inches of rain that has already occurred across portions of central Louisiana. Especially wet has been portions of south of Beauregard. It's been wet across portions of Vernon Parish. Certainly between, looks like Montgomery and Colfax, we've had some locations 4 and 5 inches of rain since Wednesday evening. So yeah, the wet spell's already started. Now my house, past couple of days, I've struggled. I haven't even gotten a tenth of an inch of rain. So large range and variation of the rainfall, as you know. So let's get into some of the amounts. Common amounts, additional 2 to 5 inches, possible 6 to 8 could occur in the wettest locations. That would be what we'll call the peak amounts. And then rainfall rates of 1 to 3 inches an hour. You get under one of those heavy thunderstorms, you can get a lot of rain in an hour or less. So that would mean the risk of some flash flooding in the usual locations. And these additional peak amounts of 6 to 8 with a general of 2 to 5, that means that we may see some rivers and lakes fill up, and we could see some river flooding and some river flood warnings reissued here over the next week or so. And so through next Friday is not all of it. There's some decent rain chances after that. We'll still have a wetter forecast than is typical. The reason why, as I explained yesterday, is the upper level pattern where we see big high pressure off to the west of us and another one in the Atlantic. Stuck in between is a trough. You can see right up here, vortex there across Hudson Bay. And so the flow in the atmosphere between this ridge and this upper level feature over Hudson Bay and then this high pressure anchors a trough across the area. So this is a situation where we're not seeing, yeah, it's going to rain for 2 days and it's out of here. We're looking at it a week plus additional rainfall every day in many locations with this kind of pattern. And we call this, that stuck in between the ridges, we call that a trough. Now let me go ahead a little bit there going into the beginning of next week, say Monday afternoon. How are things going to change? Well, not really. We still see the ridge. We can see the trough, and then we'll see the ridge across the Atlantic Ocean. And let me draw just a little bit here. So the flow of the atmosphere, here we go up and over the ridge. This is the top of the roller coaster hill. And then here we come into the valley of the roller coaster and then back in over the next hill, which is the upper level high there across the Atlantic Ocean. So if you're a parcel of air, then you follow this path, you're being accelerated, forces applied to you, and that is how we create weather changes. So this is a pattern that's going to lock in rain chances as we got adequate moisture here in this area. And so that means that we will see certainly things wetter than we typically do in July. And then going a little bit farther into the future, this is into the end of next week, say midday Friday. We still see the high pressure. It shifted to the east and south just a little bit. This high has shifted to the east, and it's kind of putting the squeeze on the trough, as you see right here across the central United States. You can see this little flow pattern, kind of a, let's see, let me draw this again. So here's the flow pattern around this high, like this, and then we kind of can see the flow around the high off to the east of us. So right in here is once again what we call a weakness in the atmosphere. Means there's not really any cap. There's not much of anything to squash any developing storms. So with adequate moisture, some little bit of daytime heating, still some troughing influence, things are going to be much wetter than they typically are for this time of year. And then finally, we'll finish this out. So yeah, it goes beyond Friday. By Saturday, you still see that weakness stuck in about the same location. And let's go into the more local and immediate future here. As we see, you can actually kind of see a little bit of rotation here across the area. Let me put this back into motion, say for the last hour. There's just a general rotation. There's a feature kind of wandered in overnight into northwest portions of Sinai. That was responsible for some locally heavy rain in those locations there overnight and this morning. It's just kind of wandered around. Looks like it's kind of setting up just to the west of Natchez, Mississippi, right there. So this is a little weakness, but we don't have a lot of rain associated with this. Just a hit and miss, showers and a few thunderstorms occasionally. So we got a little something happening there in South Natchitoches Parish. A little outflow will be working into a northern Vernon Parish with that. Over here in Rapides, not much happening. A little something just to the north of Cheneyville, maybe around LeCount. Let's go up to the areas to the north where we still see some hit and miss showers in that direction. Avoyelles are pretty clear right now. Shower dissipated as it crossed the border there, not far from Fifth Ward. And then south of Opelousas, got some stronger activity moving in down toward Karen Crow and I-10. So that's kind of a radar summary for you at the present moment. So not a lot of coverage. And I think once we lose daytime heating, we'll lose pretty much this activity later on this evening and overnight. The satellite and radar showing that northwesterly flow. See these clouds moving in from the northwest. And again, that pattern is well established. It's going to last a long time. Futurecast has specific times this weekend for you. Let's get out Saturday morning for a forecast that involves maybe your morning plans. You got maybe some errands to run or something like that. Doesn't look bad. All right, we'll go into the range of the forecast there. Say you get through the afternoon and evening, you're ready for some evening entertainment, movie, dinner, something like that. Or you got some more errands to do. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, I think, will develop during the afternoon and continue into the evening hour. But there's a north-south difference, and I'll outline that pretty closely here in just a bit. Not everybody has the same chance of getting wet tomorrow. And as we work into Sunday, say midday, and we're back to some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms as folks get out of church there for Sunday. And speaking of that, here's the Saturday rainfall planner that I indicated I'd have for you. So you can see that there's a large area, about 10 to 20% rain chances across our northern parishes. So if you're up there, your chance of getting rain, it's unlikely that you'll see rain tomorrow. Once we get into the middle parishes here, Vernon, Rapides, Avoyelles is like about a 30 to 40, and then heading southward, especially into Allen Parish, eastward into St. Landry, Evangeline, we've got about a 50-60% chance of rain, and the timing will be mainly in the PM. Common amounts, if you get the rain, would be less than an inch. Of course, if you don't get the rain, it'll be zero. Then in areas that get rainfall, there could be some locally heavy thunderstorms still. Even though the coverage is scattering out, it's not a general rain situation for tomorrow. I still think somebody could pick up one that's maybe as much as 2 or 3 inches of rain, but that would certainly be the vast exception and not the rule. All right, now let's go into the tropical interest areas, what's happening in the tropics as we see there. Into the eastern Pacific, that is where the activity has shifted out of the Atlantic basin for now. That's good news. And so over the next 7 days, I think we can rest that we have a quiet Atlantic. All right, now let's go into the 7-day forecast. There's your average. I average a chance 30%. That's what I put on the 7-day forecast, but I did that parish by parish earlier. Now I'll double that Sunday as we get back into the pattern where the troughing kind of increases a bit, its influence increases. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 80, 90% those days, 90% in a row there. And a little warm Saturday. Yeah, we're going to have to break 90 across some of the area Saturday, but then we return, we're back into the low to middle 80s there for much of next week. And as you look at these numbers, I'm going to give you something that is typical for July. Typically, your lows should be 73. We're there or a little bit lower. Typically, our highs are 93. We're lower than that every day. And the rain chance on a daily basis is 40%. And you see every day except Saturday, we're above that. In some areas to the south, we'll be above that. So, yeah, that is a wet spell. I've been calling it a summer wet spell. And so it's going to continue to be. So just, yeah, hope you got your lawn mowed. I was able to do that. But again, for July, late July, other than tropical influence, this is the kind of pattern that produces a good bit of rainfall. All right, that's it. We're going to check out Nick Nicholas in the morning, and I'll see you again sometime during the evening hours for a little stream myself.